Thank you, Representative Rice, for taking the time to do an interview about your bid for Congress. The first question I have for you is why have you decided to run?
Jonathan, thanks for the opportunity to answer that question. I've decided to run because I have been in the state legislature now for 15 years. I'm a small business guy. I've been in business for 30 years, and I see the direction that our country is going in, maybe not quite like it ought to be as far as, I look at it from a business standpoint. We need to change the direction. Obviously, the debt that we're incurring, how we're spending our money. I think some of the moral issues that our country is heading in all need to be changed for improvement, and we need to work on that. And I feel like that's one of the challenges that's ahead of us as a country to get good elected officials in Washington. And I feel like I'm one of those elected officials that can go up there and make a difference and change that direction of the country.
All right. And what kind of platform are you planning on running?
Obviously there's a lot of things that I've done here in Columbia that I would like to take to Washington. Just for example, as far as education, the virtual schools, and how we treat our students, I think we need to make some changes. Personally, I feel like the education ought to be at home, the local government, not necessarily the federal government. Also, I feel like that the taxes, the burden that is put on our citizens is unfair. The IRS is unfair. April 15th is a nightmare for most people. We need to make that change. The fair tax is an issue that I feel very strongly about. And I don't know if you're familiar with the fair tax, but the fair tax is a plan on, changing the entire way that we tax our citizens. And basically that would eliminate the IRS. Not only do we need to be concerned about how we tax our citizens, but also how we spend the money that the taxes generate. And we need to spend our money. We need to cut our spending. That's definitely going to hurt people back home from a standpoint of they're going to have to tighten their belts because the federal government is spending money at this point in time like it's like there's no end to it, and there is an end to it. My children, my grandchildren are going to have to pay the price for that.
All right. And what do you see as the most pressing issue facing the United States?
Right now, I think spending is a big issue, just like I mentioned a minute ago, and that alone probably is the one that is going to be the downfall of this country if we don't control our spending. Right now, we're spending money like we've got a credit card that has no cap on it, and we're between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it doesn't matter if we ever pay it back.
All right. And what do you feel separates you from the other Republican candidates currently running for the seat?
Like I said, I've spent 15 years in the legislature. I've been in small business for 30 years. If there's anything that, I think separates me, it's probably going to be how I will dig in on a subject, take something apart, and I'm going to, once I take a stand on it and understand the issue, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to fight to the end to make sure that issue is dealt with in the way that I feel like is right. So I feel like I'm willing to take a road less traveled and fight for a cause, even though that it may not be the popular cause.
All right. And do you have any concluding remarks?
I just appreciate the opportunity to be here today. We look forward to 2010. That's 14 months off at this point in time. There's a lot of us in the race, and we're going to have a lot of fun between now and then.
All right. Well, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.